Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chess Spice. Today we are at the next topic, that is the endgame studies explained. We are at the 67th position of our topic. We have got an endgame with an exchange of position. So white has a rook against the knight. We see that the black king is placed in the corner and we can make out this position is based on winning one of the piece, either the bishop or the knight. Currently there is a pin on the diagonal, but the pin is not very effective because if black gets to play knight c6, he will be able to free the position. So the candidate moves which come to mind, first is bishop f6 check, which looks very effective. Second, there is the idea to transfer the rook. Let's say rook can go from g4 to d4 and then harass the bishop. So that looks like an interesting idea, but we see that both rook g2 and rook g4, they are tactically met by the move knight f5. When this rook is indirectly attacked, like knight e3 check and the rook would be lost. Same trouble with the rook on g2 as well. After rook g2, knight f5, bd8, we see knight e3 check, kf2, mg2, kg2. Piece is extra, bishop d8 and the king, but we know the lone bishop cannot checkmate the king. So the only line of play that looks promising is bishop f6 check. But the problem is, after bishop f6 check, king h7, rook g7 check forced, king moves to h6, and here it is not very clear what is going to happen, because firstly the rook is hanging, so bishop into e7 is not possible, and as we discussed, re7, be7, be7, that extra piece doesn't matter in this position. So the resulting endgame is drawn. So what should white do? Of course, as we know, in these kind of study positions there is a unique idea, and here white plays a waiting move and he uses the concept of domination. The rook just goes to f7 and puts black in a tight spot. Let's see what is the point. Bishop f6 check, king h7, rook g7 check, king h6 and rook f7. Good move. The point is very simple. Rook is heading to f8, and when we will see that the bishop will have no place to move, as b7 wins for white. Right now there are very few alternatives. There is knight c6. Other knight moves allow bishop d8. To knight c6 there is the simple bishop d8. And the idea is to again dominate the knight. After knight d8, rook moves to d7. This forces the knight to leave the squares on the 7th rank, and the knight goes to either c6 or e6. To both we see rook d6, either pinning the knight or rook d6 becomes a double attack on the knight on c6, and we see that the knight is trapped. The main line is very interesting. Black can do kg6, force the rook to move, rook goes to f8, and here again comes knight c6. And the idea is black is trying to trap the rook after bishop d8, kg7, force rook e8 in order to keep the bishop supported, then king f7, again rook h8, and then kg7. It looks like the position would be drawn over there because that rook has no place to move. But as we know, in every study there is a unique idea. After rook h8, kg7, white has a very strong reply there. Let's play the moves. After bd8, kg7, rook e8, king f7, rook h8, kg7. Now rook e8 is just repetition of moves. Rook moves anywhere else. Then knight d8 is drawn. There comes the move bishop f6. Again using the relationship between the pieces here, black is forced to take king f6. Otherwise he is just a rook down. And after king f6, rook check, ke5. Rook takes the knight, and white remains a rook up and wins the game. So this position was based on the concept of domination. I hope you are finding these lessons useful. Do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for your time.